So, without further ado, I would it gives me great honour to welcome the High Commissioner of India, Mr. Muktesh Pardeshi. Excellency, we'd be honoured. Thank you.
Thank you very much and very good afternoon. Namaskar and Kia ora. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Well, we are at the High Commission. We are very happy to partner with Planet Ayurveda and the Indian Council of Ayurvedic Medicine to commemorate the 5th Ayurveda Day this year. The Ayurveda Day was for the first time celebrated in 2016. This day is celebrated on the birthday of sage Dhanvantari, who is credited as one of the pioneers of Ayurveda. This year, this day, Dhanteras, was falling on 13th November. So we had celebrations all over the world on 13th November. The Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, he led the celebration of Ayurveda Day in India. But somehow, due to some logistical reasons, we could not meet on 13th November. But we are gathered today to commemorate the Ayurveda Day in New Zealand and this part of the world. Thank you very much for joining hands and to join efforts in popularizing Ayurveda in this part of the world. On 13 November, Prime Minister spoke, and I will, in my observations, I will largely depend on some of the observations which he made on 13 November. He also dedicated 2 Ayurveda institutes which are going to play leadership roles in the growth and development of Ayurveda in the 21st century. These 2 institutes are Institute of Technology and Research in Ayurveda in Jamnagar, Gujarat, and the second one was National Institute of Ayurveda in Jaipur. At this time, Ayurveda Day and its celebration has become especially relevant because we are passing through difficult times of a global pandemic. And the difficult time of the global pandemic has shown how effective this traditional knowledge of India related to health and well-being could be relevant. When the pandemic struck us, there was no effective way of combating corona. However, many immunity booster remedies such as turmeric, milk, and kaha concoction were prepared in Indian households and outside. I myself and my family, we at home we prepared kadha and we halwa made of turmeric for our own safety. So that's based on my own personal experience that I have gone through. In India, where we have such a huge and dense and large population, banking on our traditional knowledge played an important role in maintaining some kind of stability in the maintenance of health. When Prime Minister spoke on 13 November, he highlighted that because of the interest in Ayurveda and recourse to traditional medicine, the export of Ayurveda products and related spices went up this year. There was demand for to access Indian products, Ayurvedic products, as well as other associated items like turmeric, ginger, and things which go into production of immunity boosters. Now, how do we make Ayurveda more relevant in first is relevant in this particular geography. We are in Australasia, surrounded by Australia and other countries in the Pacific. When I look at New Zealand, there are 700 years of Maori history in this country. I'm sure when they landed here in 13th century, they would have depended on traditional medicine. So here in New Zealand, we have a special responsibility to reflect on and maybe compile and gather what kind of traditional knowledge about herbs, plants, and traditional medicine the Maori society has. And I think here we can collaborate. When I was ambassador in Mexico, and as you know, Mexicans are known for their ancient civilization called Maya culture. I visited the Maya inhabited areas, and they have centuries of traditional knowledge about medicines, herbs, and associated products. In fact, we proposed to Mexico some collaborative MOU in the sector of traditional medicine, and they were quite positive about that. In a similar fashion, and I'll be guided by Mr. Ajit and others who have been working in this area for last 3 decades or so, if they have come across any institution, any relevant organization related to Maori business or Maori health system, which speaks about traditional knowledge about health and well-being, perhaps we can look for some collaborative partnership in that area. Prime Minister, when he spoke on 13th November, he spoke about how Ayurveda has been adopted in several countries. And he spoke about Brazil, where in Brazil's national policy, Ayurveda has been adopted as a source of traditional alternative medicine. Similarly, WHO, World Health Organization, had chosen India to establish a global center for traditional medicine. Here, as India is the pharmacy capital of the world, there is another dimension that we can become capital of traditional medicine. So coupled with the development of pharmaceutical products, India could be a leading source of knowledge sharing on traditional medicine and well-being. In a scenario where there is enhanced interest in Ayurveda, it is also incumbent upon Government of India and the practitioners and related institutions to continuously and rigorously work towards improvement and standardization of techniques and methods associated with Ayurveda. Many times there could be a question, what is the evidence of a particular cure method? What is the evidence of the efficacy of certain prescription? Those who are involved in the practice of Ayurveda, those who are involved in teaching and dissemination of this traditional source of medicine, especially relevant, and they are responsible to show to the world the efficacy and the standard and the requirements which meets the expectations of patients and users. So that's one special responsibility for all of us to continuously work towards bringing more rigor, more scientific experimentation, more bringing in some of the surgical practices, some of the prescriptive methods in tune with the demands of the modern medicine. There is a huge global market of pharmaceuticals products, I mean the Ayurvedic products in the world. And there is one study which shows that the global Ayurveda market in 2019 was US dollar 4.5 billion. And there are two kinds of demands. The one demand is for nutraceutical products. Those are products derived from food sources, and personal care products like lotions, oils, and shampoos. So this is product related with the Ayurveda sector. And the major markets for Ayurvedic products outside India include a country like the US, Nepal, UAE, the Netherlands, Italy, Russia, and France. Somehow I had hoped that maybe Australia would be also a big market, but I think we have to work upon to make Ayurveda known in this region, Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific countries, so that they also derive benefit. The humanity derives benefit from a traditional medicine like Ayurveda. To conclude, I would say that there is a immense potential of there is an immense untapped potential of Ayush systems of healthcare, and Ayush includes not only Ayurveda but also includes Unani, naturopathy, and other health challenges, not only in India but around the world. The second message would be that we have to improve and upgrade the standard of Ayurveda education, frame various courses as per emerging national and international demand, and excel in modern research to generate more and more evidences. And I think in this context, Planet Ayurveda, which has been working in New Zealand for so many years, they have a special role to lead the path in making Ayurveda more acceptable, more accessible, and more known in this part of the world. So with these words, once again, I wish a very happy Ayurveda Day to those who are involved in teaching, researching, and practicing Ayurveda in New Zealand and around this region. So once again, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to share some observations and make a small step in disseminating information about Ayurveda. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very informative. You've presented us with a number of opportunities and also a number of challenges that I trust that we will be able to work together to achieve the goals that you've set for us in the coming year. Again, thank you for your time. So I hope that you might be able to stay for a bit longer. We have some other speakers coming this afternoon.